Okay, let us talk about another combination circuit, that is demultiplexer. That actually performs the reverse operation of a multiplexer. That means it has a size 1 cross 2 to the power n, and again we have n number of select lines. So I'll straight away explain its working using the example. If say suppose we have 1 cross 4 demultiplexer, so we have 4 outputs and a single input I coming in. We have 2 select lines S0 S1. So now the value of select lines determine the input I will go on which of the output. So we have select lines. So this is how the circuit works. This is actually not of much use as compared to the circuit that we have done. Alright. Let us move to another similar circuit. Since the demultiplexer performs the reverse operation of multiplexer, similarly we have a circuit that performs the reverse operation of a decoder. That is called the encoder. Encoder has a size 2 to the power n cross n, and we have again chip select over. Let us take for example example of a 4 cross 2 encoder. How does the circuit work? We have 4 inputs coming in, say I0, I1, I2 and I3, and we have 2 outputs, OP0 and OP1 and a chip select. Like this actually like inputs we can number them same as in D0, D1, D2 and D3 decoder. So actually you can see that it performs the reverse operation, and outputs we'll say call them as A and B. Now the idea is, say we have D0, D1, D2 and D3 and the values in A and B. So we have 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. We have a chip select, so this should be 1 4. Alright, so this will be 0 0 0 1 1 0 1. Alright, now as the chip select goes 0, so all our inputs will be like, and these will be non-different. We could have put in a don't cares also in the inputs. Alright, this is how it works. Now decoder in itself is not important, as we have another modification of the decoder that is called a encoder is not that important. We have another modification of this that is called the priority encoder. Now what is the concept is? Concept is like in a priority encoder, if the higher input is 1, higher priority input rather is 1, whatever value of lower ones, that will remain unaffected. Alright. So if say suppose for example I fix my priority order as D3 greater than D2 greater than D1 greater than D0. It could have been the other way around also. Okay. I have taken this assumption. That means for the value of D0 to affect the output, alright. So remaining all the higher ones have to be 0. So I'll just draw the modified. You can see the difference between an encoder and a priority encoder. These are actually the inputs, these are the outputs. V here actually denotes the valid input. That means the combination has to be a valid input. So if this is 1, remaining higher ones have to be 0 for the effect of this input to be filled out to the output. Now if this is 1, that means if a higher priority input is 1, whatever the value of lower priority input, that will have no effect on the output. So in all these cases, these are all the valid inputs. In case all are 0, so this becomes a invalid. Alright. This is how we draw a circuit, alright, of a priority encoder. Now moving on further, we talk about the concept of what are our class of combinational circuit that are called the code converters. That means our input is one type of code and output is another type of code. We talked about the codes, that is various types of weighted codes, non-weighted codes in our number system. We will see their interconversion now. Say for example, our first circuit, that is called binary to gray code converter. Or rather, I will use this term like this. Now if you remember from the number system, given a gray code with a 4 bits, say G3, G2, G1 and G0, and if say suppose we are given B3, B2, B1 and B0, this is a binary code. Alright, from a binary, how do we generate a gray code? This B3 remains as G3. Now for G2, we perform the XOR of these two. Now for G1 we perform the XOR of these two, and for this we perform the XOR of. That means simple funda, our B3 same as G3, G2 is XOR of B3 B2, G1 XOR of B2 B1 and G0 XOR of B1 B2, B1 B0, sorry. Here this remains the same as B3. Now XOR of B3 and G2 generates our B2, XOR of B2 and G1 generates our B1, XOR of B1 and G0 generates our B0. So first of all, this is a gray to binary converter, this is binary to gray. First of all, I draw this circuit, this is very simple. This is our B3, this is same as G3. Now XOR of B3 and B2, that generates G2. Now XOR of B2 and B1 generates our G1, XOR of B1 and B0 generates our G0. Alright, over here this is G3 is same as B3. Now for generation of G2, generation of B2, we have to perform the XOR. G3 same as B3. Oh, okay. Rather, I will take it in this way so that it is not confusing. This is our B2. Now we XOR B2 and G1 to generate our B1. Now I XOR B1 and G0 to generate our B1. This is a gray to binary converter. This is binary to gray to converter. Alright. Let us talk about another code converters. That is BCD to XS3 code converter. We have 4 bits of BCD number. BCD numbers are from 0 to 9, and we have the XS3 codes. This 0, 0, 0, 0. XS3 code is alright. Now for each one of them we cannot go directly, alright, because addition by 3 we cannot show. So how do? We go by the route of K-maps. Say suppose I want to draw the K-map for E0, rather E0 actually we can see same as D0. Okay, first of all let us start with the K-map of E3, where inputs to my K-map will be B3, B2, B1, B0. Now how do we fill in the values? That is a very important question. From 0 to 9 we have the values of the function defined. From 9 to 15 we fill in the don't cares because the value is not known. Okay, so let us fill. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5 to 9. We have ones and remaining are the don't cares. So what does our simplification give us? This I take a pair of 8, this I take a pair of 4, and this I take a pair of 4. So the ones are covered. So what I get answer from this pair, I get the value as B3. From this pair I get the value as B2, B0. From this pair I get the value as B2, B1. So our E3 is same as B3 plus B2 into B1 plus B0. This is what I get the expression of E3. Now what about E2? So we have the simplification of K-map and values filling we have earlier seen. Okay. So now for these values actually, how do we proceed? This we take a pair of 2 because we cannot form a higher pair. For these 3 ones actually I will have to proceed in this way. And then this way. Alright. So from this pair of 2, what do I get? This I get as B2, B1 bar, B0 bar. From this pair I get, this is our equation of E3. This is our this is B2 bar, and B0, and from this pair I get B2 bar, B3, sorry, B1. Alright, this is what I get. So what is my expression for E2? This will be B2, B1 bar, B0 bar plus B2 bar comes out to be common, B1 plus B0. Alright. Now, similarly I write the equation, draw the K-map for E1. This is 1 0 0 1 0 1 and 1 0. Remaining are they don't care. Correct. this is a pair of 4, this is a pair of 4. From here I get B1 bar, from here I get B1. Oh, sorry. From this I get B1 bar, B0 bar, B1, B0. So what is the equation of E1? E1 is actually B1 X nor B0. Alright, from our gates knowledge we know this. And lastly is the EMF for E0. And remaining other don't care. Alright, so this forms a pair of 8. So what do I get? You can actually see from this I get B0 bar. So E0 is same as B0 bar. With all these 4 equations I can draw my circuit. What do I get? I have B3, B2, B1 and B0. So E3 is B3, B1 plus B0 actually we have to generate. I have to put in an OR gate. I have to AND it with B2. Whatever the output I have to OR it with B3. This is my E3. Alright. Similarly, we can draw the other circuits also. B1 and B0. We can put in an X NOR. I put in a NOT in front of E1. This is B0 bar. Similarly, E2 also I can draw. Alright. So this is how I get the BCD to XS3 code converter. The reverse also I can exactly go. I can generate XS3 to BCD codes. Similarly, we can have the circuits that are actually called our like we can go from binary to BCD, BCD to binary, that way also. Okay. Let us talk about our another class of circuits that are called parity generators checkers. Now parity codes we have already done. Okay, just moving on further the concept. Say suppose for example we have our data bits say B3, B2, B1 and B0 and our parity bit, if this is say even parity, this will be an odd parity. Alright, this is say 0, 0, 0, 1, so 0, 0, 1, 1. That is I have taken randomly 2 examples where I can have the odd number of ones, we have even number of ones. Alright. So in case of even parity, total number of ones, data plus parity has to be even. So this will be 1, this is 0 over here, this will be the other way around, that is 0 and 1. Alright, because number of ones have to be odd. So over here you can actually see if I XOR, that is B3 XOR with B2, XOR with B1, XOR with B0. What do I get? 0, 0 XOR 1, 0, 0 XOR is 0, 0, 0 XOR is 0, 0, 1 XOR is 1, this is same as PE. Even and a complement of it is odd parity. Alright, so if we have B3, B2, B1 and B0, I XOR all these 4. I generate an even parity, and if I complement this, I get an odd parity. Alright. Now how does our parity checker works? You can see actually if we have this all the data and even parity, if we XOR everything, if we get output as 0, so our even parity and the data that matches. And if we XOR this and we get 1, so our data is correct. This is our parity generator. And for the checker circuit, this is our PE or POR. What is the bit coming in? We XOR. So if this is coming out to be 0, this is our even parity. If it is coming out to be 1, this is our odd parity. Alright. So class, that's all for today. In the next class, we'll be talking about the magnitude comparator and other combinations.